Hey everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here. Coming on a little bit later to do a video. Sorry, I was super busy doing my hair. Just kidding. I was doing so much other stuff today. And all of a sudden I was like, oh man, I really got to get the kids to bed. Oh man, I got to do my video and talk about this because I got a bunch of questions on this. Talking about training for events, and this is something where a lot of people right now are doing this. I'm training, I'm increasing my energy output, I'm trying to get fit, I want to get back on track. Yeah, here we go, putting out this, this big goal, this big physical goal. This is going to help me do it. Yeah, awesome, I'm doing it, I'm training, and get really pumped about it. I can't tell you how many friends I have that have done I'm training for a half marathon, and that's going to help me lose weight. And they start doing the training. And it's not that they're not doing it. And it's not that they're overeating, right? In fact, oftentimes you actually don't eat enough, which I'll talk about in just a minute, and they actually gain weight in the training process. Yeah, it can be really frustrating. So if you've experienced this, if you're wondering about this, how do I fix this? How do I do this? These are things that we cover in the 12-week challenge. If you are not on the wait list, registration opens Friday. Boom. Right there in the comments is the wait list for the next 12-week challenge. We go through your Dutch test. We get you a customized protocol for that. We talk about nutrition recommendations for your goals, what your system would need, etc. So really focusing on things, because if you are training for something and you're not shifting your nutrition in accordance with that, you're missing out on a ton. You're missing out on a ton. Yes. So here we go, training things. You've increased your training. You're running a lot more, right? And you're thinking, yeah, I'm burning more calories. That's great, right? If I don't eat as much, I should lose weight. Okay, sure. But increasing that training, if you don't have the right support for it, for your system, you're actually just going to increase stress. And we all know increasing stress does what? Increases fat storage for the female body. Like that. Yeah. You might feel like, well, I feel like I've got more muscle under there. I feel like I'm getting more muscle. Yes, and your weight can increase. The number on the scale can increase from having more muscle tissue. Absolutely. But it also holds on to a little more fat tissue. Increase in stress. Stress response, cortisol response for the system. Oh, so great. When you increase in training, you need nutrient changes. This oftentimes, again, supporting your system for the increased output. The caloric intake is going to need to change, the macronutrient, micronutrient, making sure your digestive system is functioning well, all this stuff. If you are not shifting what you're doing, how you're eating to allow, right, for how you're training. Again, this doesn't just mean eat more. It also means don't eat the same. Keep that in mind. That's why I just put nutrient changes. If you start increasing your energy output and you don't change how you eat, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because why? Why is that a problem? Because the female body will see it as a stressor because it sees it as a lack of nutrient availability. Meaning it thinks that it's starving. It thinks that your body's starving. Well, isn't that a good thing when I lose weight? No, the opposite. This is what happens for women. Increase fat storage every single time. You start working out a ton, but you don't eat more or eat differently to accommodate what your system would need. Hands down every time. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, come on, this is a bunch of crap. And you know it's true because you're like, yeah, that's happened. That's totally happened for me. I know! You might temporarily see a short-term result. Like just something, oh, well, maybe I started losing 5 pounds. But now I've stopped and I'm actually gaining weight. Yeah. So make sure you're shifting your nutrient. Again, these are things we do, talk about in the 12-week challenge. Waitlist is right there below. Last thing here that I want to talk about. Again, there's more to this list, but these are some of the top things to start with before you start looking at all these other details or all this other other stuff. If you don't have these things down, diving into other avenues oftentimes won't yield you any type of result. But increasing your recovery, what does that mean? It means allowing your system the right amount of rest in between, especially as you're getting going training harder, doing different types of training, cross-training, things like that. If you are not increasing the amount of rest and recovery that you're getting, it will cause more of a stress response, which more fat storage. Oh, why is there always fat storage for women? Because that's what our bodies do. That's what our bodies are designed to do. Anytime there's a stressor, anytime there's an impact, anytime there's something else that's going on, your body's like, oh, we know what to do. We're going to protect you. We got this. Fat store, just hold on to it. You're welcome. I know. So that's how it goes. That's what it is. And yeah, there we go. So if you're like, yeah, how do I turn this around? How do I change this? If you've got a good training program, great. Sometimes I make training recommendations or just some different things to take into consider, but a lot of times it's really focusing on nutrient timing for working out and your overall nutrient intake that makes a huge shift and change and difference. So that's a big deal there. Other resources I have for you, again, besides getting on the wait list, which is right below, other resources, my book, The Female Fat Solution. This is on Amazon, talking about nutrition that matches your hormones and your cycle, because also if you're not training for your hormones and your cycle, you are missing out. I'm going to do a whole video on that. That deserves a whole video. So if you're like, oh, I want to know more about that, I'll do a whole video on it. If you're in menopause, whole book, Female Menopause Solution, also on Amazon. And then, podcast is called The Female Health Solution, and my YouTube channel is called Dr. Beth Westy. All places you can subscribe to stay updated on all the things I have going on and information coming out and all the things. And spirit fingers. Okay, that's what I got for you guys tonight. Let me know if you have any other questions or need anything else. Otherwise, I'll see you later.